Hey guys, how's it going? Today we will be talking about last week's Tavern Brawl, week 17. It's a little bit late. I had lots of power cuts in the area, lots of downtime, so unfortunately this couldn't be helped. But this week's Tavern Brawl was quite interesting, because just like week 1, we had unique heroes, which I think since week 1 we haven't had. So we've had a fair few runs of repeats lately, a few of those Tavern Brawls which we've kind of seen already. It was nice to have something completely new. Last week they definitely brought us that with, as you can see there, 2 new heroes. And as a result, 2 new hero powers as well. Annoy-o-Tron right here. He had, for 2 mana, of course, for 2 mana, give your lowest attack minion Divine Shield and Taunt. It was quite a well scaled hero power. At the beginning, if you played a weak minion, you could put the Divine Shield on it and then trade with the opponent's minion. It would survive, your minion would still be alive, and it would have Taunt, so the next minion you played, which would obviously be higher cost and more powerful, would as a result be protected, in theory. This was pretty cool, and it obviously scaled later on, where if you played some of the bigger cards, which will be mentioned soon, my shield on that was a lot more significant than Greenbot's hero power, which was for 2 mana, deal 1 damage to a random enemy twice. You'd press hero power and then it would do 1 random damage somewhere, akin to Flame Juggler's effect, and then it would do it again. You would literally just win off the back of this. The hero power occasionally just spiraled completely out of control. On the other hand, everyone had those games where you press hero power and you ping their face, and they have like 2, 3, 1 life minions and nothing happened. You win some, you lose some, you know? Anyway, the biggest problem I felt with this week's Tavern Brawl, although we had custom decks, the cards in them weren't custom. What I mean by that, when we had Ragnaros versus Nefarian, Ragnaros ended up having some pretty unique cards. So did Nefarian. Both heroes had cards that we hadn't played with before. But this obviously added another level of interest to the duel. Unseen cards that we'll never see again. Obviously these would be a bit more powerful, these cards. The game had a bit more interest because of it. This time round, we had themed decks, and to be honest, they weren't the most enjoyable of decks. They were fun at times, though there were some, I guess, issues with the general idea of the decks. So the first deck we have here is the Annoy-o-Tron deck. As you can see by the deck list, there were lots of one-offs, which I felt was the biggest issue with this format. As you can see by the cards in the deck, it was obviously very mech themed, which is a given considering both heroes are mechs. I guess the most interesting card in this deck would be the Mech Engineer 9 mana card, Thermoplug. Didn't really see much play, but when it did play, it had the potential to spiral out of control. But in general, this deck just felt convoluted. Had there been more than one shielded mini-bot, I might be talking a different story. But in general, you can see the cards in this deck. Nothing too extraordinary. We had a Boaster. Boaster was cool. This was a deck that actually made Boaster kind of feel good. You'd pretty much taunt everything up and Boaster it. Though obviously with just one Boaster in your deck and not really any other ways to give taunts, as a result, this card felt a little bit off. It definitely helped in some games though, and the first game I actually lost in this format due to Boaster. But then on the other hand, you have a Power Word Glory. Do we need that in the deck? You have got a Shielded Minibot, Snow Chugger. These cards are pretty good, and it does scale into a relatively decent late game, because at the end of the day you have 2 Force Tank Maxes, which I think is the only 2 copies in this deck. I mean, Tinker's Sharp Sword Oils, with Iron Senseis, with upgraded repair bots in a way, Blessing of Might, with Enhancer Mechanico, the cards you get off of Tinkertown Technician, the Clockwork Knight. You could see like the buffs coming and like making your deck have on-hand lethal, so like pushing for tempo, pushing for that game. This deck had that, but I felt like this deck didn't win as much overall throughout the session I played, and I guess I can see why. But here we have the Boombot deck list. And at first you can say, okay, Shadow Bomber, that's not a mech. Anyway, Shadow Bomber, so kind of screams aggro in a way. And obviously there's Whirling Zapomatics. You would think, okay, this deck might be a bit more aggressive. Flame Cannon for early board clear. Then you look at some of the other cards you have. We have a Bouncing Blade, we have the Light Bomb, we have Crush, we have a Twisting Nether. So just straight off the bat, we hear those spell cards, we think, we're playing a control-y deck. Are we playing a slower paced deck? It's more of a mid-range value deck. This can be seen by the Gadgetzan Jouster. I did find, however, that this didn't go off so much because of the inconsistencies of the deck, and this deck's curve wasn't exactly the highest. I mean, the highest mana costing card was from the Annoy-o-Tron deck. Being so, you've got the Explosive Sheep, the Mad Bomber, Demolisher, we have a Bomb Lobber, Mad Bomber, and obviously Dr. Boom, which obviously by default meant your deck's going to win. Dr. Balanced. Oh, Shadow Bomber doesn't need to be in here. Anyway, this deck edged on the side of tempo-based or value-based board control with a bit of RNG involved, which in some games really won you the game, and in other games really just flat out made you lose. So your opponent had 4 minions on the board with all one life, and you Mad Bomber and hit yourself for 5 in the face. This kind of thing does happen, and has kind of happened in this format. So which deck was better? To be honest, I didn't like either of them that much. So if I had to say which deck was more efficient, I would probably say Boombot's deck. Boombot's deck just edged it all at the end of the day. The hero power was quite effective, and the potential to just flat out win because of it was just there. Your minions might not necessarily survive, and as a result you have a dead hero power. Whereas there would be scenarios where the Boombot Junior hero power would be just pinging an empty board for 2 damage, and you're basically playing a Hunter hero power there, and we know how the Hunter clock works. On top of that, they had Boaster in the deck, so in all seriousness, the control from Boombot Junior kind of edged out the Divine Shield plays which the Annoy-o-Tron had, and whilst the Annoy-o-Tron could get a lot of value out of that hero power, but in all honesty, this Tavern Brawl was quite fun, but a little bit lackluster on the actual deck construction. They could have, added a few unique cards. And let's be honest, Dr. Boom in the Boombot Junior deck, by default, that with Pietous Sky Golem and a Force Tank Max, you're already pushing like the deck late game right there. So I think they could have done a little bit more with the actual deck construction. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy myself this format though. Would I want a repeat of this Tavern Brawl? I don't think so. However, I do appreciate the new hero power designs, and I hope that they do this again with another theme. Kind of thought that we would have a Goblin versus Gnomes type thing. We could have had, say, Dr. Boom as a hero, and had him fight up against Mad Bomber. Mad Bomber does all this random AoE. Dr. Boom summons Dr. Boom Juniors. That can be cool. And in theme for the game. It was a good one. I hope that the next one that's out tomorrow is just as interesting. But for now, do enjoy the games that are coming up, and I'll see you guys later. Above all else guys, don't forget that no matter how good or bad at any game you play you are, always play at your prime. This is Prime Kara, signing out. I could theoretically make use of the Cobalt Guardian. However, I think a 7/6 a bit more significant at the moment. Hopefully the hero power will hit my 7/6. Get me some spare parts, Did someone say Mad Bomber. Hello. That's cute. Mad Bomber, MVP. It's absolutely insane.
Drink with me, friend.
Oh, he's going for it. Oh my god, he's actually going for it. Oh my god. Hit face. Mad Bomber is my friend. Oh my god. This is gonna hurt. Oh no.
The shadow engulfs us.
What happened? Oh, he's just gonna hit my face. Oh my god. That bomb.
Drink with me, friend.
Oh, that's cute. Garzarella. Garzarella. Never lucky. Coin, Wind Fury. Pow 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 pow.
Engulfs us. Some for you.
So far, so good. So if one of these hits that, I'm in a good position. Just one of them.
Some for you.
I should have probably traded first. If this thing survives, that's 8 damage on my board. I can get rid of one thing, though I'm going to probably keep that for better removal.
Let us see it.
Coin. And hit this. Okay, that's cute. I'm just push for tempo. That's 8 damage. Theoretically, I can kill him. Yeah. Yeah. Boombot. Boombot OP. Pack earned. Boo. That's no fun. That's a pretty good spread, to be honest. 2 damage to each. There's a power shot there. 5 mana, 5/4 with power shot. This will kind of go 2 for 1, so. No, I won't, will I? Oh my god.
For Nomrica.
Drink with me, friend.
Repairs available. Come close and listen.
That's gotta go. For me, this doesn't really help me in any way. Like, I can heal up 8 life next turn, which I guess is something, but he's got the board. Goblin Sapper is of no use this format. No one's got 6 cards in their hand with this deck.
Let us see if
Drinkmeister. Oh, that's cute. What? 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 So peculiar. Oh no.
Defensive systems online.
So I now have a really strong board here. If he doesn't trade the 5-3 away, I will heal up again. I'm really hoping he doesn't kill the 5-3. If I can keep this alive, that will be a lot of life gained. Potentially. Damn it.
I have jump. Running program. Warming speed.
Oh my god. Wow. Crush is in my deck. Eight, 7. Admittedly, coming back from this position might be a little bit harder. 5, 10, 12, 6, potentially 16. I'm gonna have to lose one thing. It's obviously gonna be the 5-4 here I lose. Okay. Please hit this. Sick.
the shadow engulfs us. The shadow engulfs.
I'm gonna push him lethal next turn. I'm doing this because if he does drop any kind of minion with taunt, I have more to trade with it. And he's got dark bombs in the deck, but he's not. Cycle, nice. B3. So if this hits that twice, that's a very good position for me to be in.
Some for
That's
you.
not really what I wanted. However, this is really good. He's gonna need a second recycle to live this turn, theoretically. If he can't kill my 5-2, there we go. That's how it's done.